So, Kary, of course, you're the newbie this season, but you had no problem fitting right in, speaking your mind. We saw it in the trailer. So, LeeAnne said in a recent interview that you were actually the hardest one to get along with in the cast. Why do you think she said that?
You know, I have no idea because no one else had a hard time getting, along with me. I mean, I think I'm so easygoing and fun, and I was just like, coming in and just having a good time. So honestly,
yeah,
it must be her.
Okay. Would you say the same thing about her? Who was maybe the hardest to get along with in this cast of ladies?
Oh, 100% LeeAnne. I mean, she was just very negative and boring and self-absorbed. So, yeah.
Okay, so I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of this friendship unravel throughout the season, I'm sure.
Or not unraveled.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. Oh, boy. We saw on the episode that LeeAnne and Deandra have a Friendvention. Right?
Friendvention, yes.
Friendvention. I'm not even saying it right. Friendvention. And you hosted it at your house.
Oh, yeah. It was not a good idea, probably, but yeah.
I mean, I will say, though, they looked like they were in a better place. Does this last?
You have to watch and see, but Deandra wasn't at the wedding, so that's all I can say.
Okay.
They tried for the whole season.
Yeah.
They tried.
Yeah, I feel like they were just never, I feel like they have a hard time, being at the same place at the same time with reconciliation.
Okay. And you knew Deandra before the show, right?
Yes, I knew Deandra before the show. I mean, and a little bit, not a lot.
Okay.
But yeah.
So did you feel compelled to take her side in this argument? Because this really affects the entire group.
Absolutely not. No. I'm a person that always has said this, in my life. It's like I hear both sides, but I'm not going to fight your battle. I mean, of course, I'm going to be empathetic about what she's going through, and I was trying to help the situation. And I was trying to figure out why LeeAnne wasn't including Deandra in some of the things, because I kind of felt like a little guilty. Hey, she's inviting me to this, but not Deandra, and she's being your friend. What's going on? And so, yeah, I mean, I would say that it was definitely, just, I tried to, at first I was trying to get involved, but then I just backed out and let him deal with it, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like either side is never really a good side to be on. No. Stephanie, where do you stand in this relationship? Because I know that you're friends with both of them.
With Deandra and LeeAnne, I'm friends with both of them. I love them both, and I feel like it's their situation. Because she always says it. It's like, and now I find myself saying it, but it's their problem to work out at the end of the day. Like, you can try to be there for both of them and help them reach reconciliation, but at the end of the day, they have to put, one of them has to put it aside and just.
And they probably won't.
Yeah.
Their egos are too big.
Do you think that they're both at fault? Do you think it's like, it's not even one of them, that they're both really have done a little bit damage in this relationship?
They both hurt each other, and I think they both want something from the other that will never happen, so yeah.
We'll have to see. You see them ever getting back to a good place?
Today I would say no.
No?
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is the type of thing that they can't even be in the same room at this point?
They can, it's just, they can, but I feel like it's a little awkward at times, yeah.
So Deandra thinks that Rich was cheating on LeeAnne, but now we saw text messages that Rich thinks Jeremy was cheating on Deandra. I'm getting that right. It's totally convoluted.
Yeah.
Who do you guys believe, and do we think either or both men were actually unfaithful?
I personally will say I don't believe either men were unfaithful.
Really?
I really don't. I know both these guys, and whenever this stuff came out that Deandra said about LeeAnne, I was like, I just don't believe it, because Rich is a really nice guy. Also, it's really hard to do this show and not have people take pictures. If it was happening, there would be so much evidence that, and I feel like the same with Rich saying that about Jeremy. It would just be really, they would have to be like magicians to hide this for so many years.
I mean, to me, it seems like payback.
I do. I think it's like getting even. I really do. I think for both. I mean, also, you shouldn't really repeat something unless you literally walked in on them,
Well,
and you have evidence, clear evidence.
Very big evidence, yeah.
And then LeeAnne, had such a hard time, Deandra doing that to her, and she was like, making a huge deal about it, and now she's doing the same thing to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a nasty way to get revenge. That's something that, it really affects their marriage, too. I could imagine. And that is not easy to deal with. Stephanie, in the trailer, we see some stuff go on with you and Cameron.
Yes.
You told her that sometimes she makes you feel like you're not good enough. You guys were always in a very good place. What happened here? Why does she make you feel like that?
I mean, I feel like we've always kind of butted heads a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't like arguing with her because she's painful to argue with, because she kind of it's like a merry-go-round where she says the same thing over and over again. So I would always be like, I'm sorry, even though I really wasn't half the time.
Okay.
So this year I was like, I just don't want to do an apology tour. Like I feel like I'm the great apologizer with her.
Okay.
So I felt like I wanted to be more authentic to the way I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm really glad I did it because it was really hard at times to like have these conversations. But at the end of the day, at least she knows where I stand and I know where she stands.
Yeah. Has she been better about that now?
You know, I mean, I don't know. We'll see at the reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kary, we saw you tell your husband that he needs to try harder next year. How has filming affected your marriage?
I mean, filming hasn't really affected our marriage at all. I mean, you know, he was very worried about me doing the show because he's like, oh, Kary has no filter, you know? So, I mean, I think, you know, we've been married for 10 years and marriage is hard, you know, and the longer you're married, I think you have to try harder every year. And if you don't try, you know, your marriage eventually just sizzles off, you know, and I'm a passionate person and I like to be with somebody that feel that passion, and if it's not there, you know, that's not how I want to be in a relationship with. And I just think that, you know, I'm just being honest in the conversation I'm having with him. And but I mean, I think I do definitely think that, you know, marriage is one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Totally. How do you guys, both of you guys, you know, you're working with the show, you're dealing with all the cast drama and stuff. How do you guys keep your relationships alive with your husbands? Do you guys set aside date nights? Like, what do you guys do?
I mean, for Travis and I, therapy.
Yeah.
We do date nights, but then also like we walk every night, and we have this 91-year-old man that lives in our guest house, so he kind of comes over and hangs out with the kids for a little bit, and we just go like on a 30-minute walk at least 4 to 5 times a week and just connect, because I think it's easy to lose yourself in your children's lives.
Yeah. Do you find that therapy is super helpful in your relationship?
For me, yeah, but I feel like I've kind of learned, because we've done marriage therapy, but I feel like individual therapy is really better for probably both of us, because you can really you're only in control of yourself, not your partner. And I think a lot of times marriage counseling is like, well, I need you to fix this, or I need you to fix this. But when it's individual therapy, you can really only control yourself and what you bring to the marriage. And then it's up to the other person to contribute or contaminate it.
Completely. Yeah. Do you see changes in Travis? I know you said that he was going maybe through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he was going on a spending spree. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, you got his stuff. Like, he bought cars and like all kinds of stuff. But but you know, I don't know. But he was so open and honest about it. It was very endearing in a way. Because I would be like, you're going through something. He was like, I am, I can't explain it. I just feel like my life is half over, and you know, and so I found it annoying, but also I appreciated the fact that he was open about it. But yes, he spent a lot of money this year.
Yeah. Well, at least he's not hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, he's very upfront, and I appreciate that. Like, I don't want to be in a marriage of lies, because
absolutely not.
Then it builds so much resentment. So I'd rather him just be honest and me get annoyed with him than feel like I don't know what he's, you know, doing or buying or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you keep the romance alive with your husband? I know we kind of went off the grid a little bit here.
Well, I probably, you know, like, I love doing trips, you know, so couples trips are fun. And going out at night, you know, with just the two of us or with friends, and just like, you know, trying to sometimes remember, like, try to pretend like, hey, let's pretend we're dating. You're trying to court me, you know? Like,
keep it fun and light again. Yeah, the dating phase is always the most fun in every relationship. And after completing your first Housewives this season, do you have any regrets about showing too much of your marriage or your personal life?
Absolutely not.
No?
I mean, I said when I was going to go in, I was going to be myself. I'm going to be honest. I'm putting myself out there. You know, some people are going to be okay with it. Some people are going to judge, and people are not going to like it. But that's just really who I am, and that's life, you know.